So, Wristblade tutorial part 1. First step, evaluate and assess. What I've done here, clearly, would definitely be better with an actual proper workbench. Don't have one available right now, so I just made this little thing out of quick grip clamps, just to hold it in place for me. So, first thing, if you have bought one of these replica ones, you'll notice that the top layers are all purely decorative. The first one that I bought had thick layers, 3 of them, that were all just decorative. I removed them all straight away because it added too much weight and made it too bulky. In this case though, as you can see, the layers are all very thin, which is going to be an issue because every time we pull this thing apart and removing the layers, putting them back together with this decorative pattern in place is going to be very time consuming. So if you have one similar to this one, I would recommend that first thing you do is take photos of the top layers if you intend to keep them, because in this case they're only thin small ones, not very bulky, not very heavy. So but throughout the duration of applying the modifications, I'm going to leave them off. Once you've done that, it is time to open it up and have a look on the inside. Now, it's held together, this particular one's held together by these 6 little bolts and nuts. My first one that I bought, it was just simply a matter of undoing them, pulling them out. But this one, for some reason, when I got it, they've glued the nuts on. So I'm going to have to grind them off. So that's where I'm going to start. So before I cut the last one off, I'm just going to put a zip tie around it. This is just going to make sure that it holds it together when bolts and nuts are no longer holding it together. Alrighty, so that's the last one. Let's get this zip tie off. Right, get these. Probably should have left a zip tie on there at first. I'm going to put another zip tie on. Now bear in mind, when it comes to pulling these last bolts out, there's nothing holding this together. Like it was a wrist blade and now it's potentially just a big mess of parts. It could all just fall apart on me. And if it does while on camera, I'm probably just going to post this bloody video regardless, and it's going to be very embarrassing. Let's hope. There we go. So that's second to last one removed. I'll get back to you after I've done the last one. Right, so that's the last bit removed, and see here, see all these little layers. They're all purely decorative. And there's a couple of ones. So like, that's why it's a good idea to take the picture up first, so that you have a record of what it looks like and how to put it back together at the end if you want to reattach all your decorative layers. Oh, fuck. So that's decorative. Decorative. Right, so this layer here is our top. So from that point down, that's all you actually need for the entire body of the wrist blade. So what I'm going to do is, to make sure that it stays together, I'm just going to pop some bolts down these holes. I think that should hold it, so that I can transfer this over to a table. So this is where we need our new bag of bolts. I'm just going to go a few of these out and turn them up the other way so that they come in from the bottom. In all four corners. I'll get back to you when that's done. So what I've done here is I've been struggling trying to get all the bolts in underneath without the other ones falling out, so I've just got a bit of blue tack and just put a bit of blue tack on the end of all the bolts that I have done, so that when I lift it up to put the other ones in, hopefully they shouldn't be able to slip through. Perfect. Once they're all in like that, just remove all the blue tack. And here we go. So now we have the bolts kind of create like a, you know, a rack to keep it assembled on while you're working on it. Whenever you're done projecting on it for the day, all you do is just put your nuts over top so that it stays together and proceed. So that was a fairly long video. Let's call that the end of part 1 and move on to part 2, which is basically a second part of the deconstruction.